Hey guys, it's Ruffin220, and as you can see, I'm on the layout again today. I will be doing a little different video for you today, because I've never really done one of these, but I'm going to be doing a layout tour, as you saw in the title. But we're going to go in a reverse order, kind of, starting over here and then ending up with a town over there. And I kind of did one of these in my first layout update, which was more of a layout overview. And it wasn't in like that great of detail, so I want to go into a little better detail today, and a lot more has happened since then, a lot more completion. So I guess we'll just walk around today and look at the stuff on the layout. So starting over here, we have the river, as you saw. You might have seen that in my most recent update, but it's finally poured, and it's almost clear, so that's good. It's looking really awesome. Once we get the ballast around the curve and a little more scenery where that dirt is, it'll be really nice. Then we'll continue the scenery, as you can see from that hill right there, over along this mountain scene, and we'll have a lot of tall pine trees. But that'll be coming soon. Moving on, we have actually, before I move on, sorry about that, I just want to mention we kind of have like a climb here. As you saw, the grade that goes all the way down and starts right where that SD60 is, that comes off the layout. So we'll look at the track plan as we go along, but we'll get to that in kind of the operations section, I guess. But in this industry, you can kind of just look around and see for yourself what there is. You can see there's kind of a gravel lot around the facility for parking. And it's kind of shared with the distribution center, with the entrance being there out onto the main road. And then when vehicles come in, they can pull off here, park right there, or come and park back here. So you can see right now a bulkhead flat car is being loaded, and then we have two tracks that service it. Actually, more like one. One is a surface track, the other one is more storage that can store cars from any of the industries throughout here. So it can either be a loaded cement car or unloaded box car for the distribution center, or a bulkhead flat car or center beam flat car for the lumber facility. So I think that's it for this little section here. Moving on to the distribution center, you can see this is also part of the industrial park. I also call it that. And it's really busy, the track work here, which we'll get on. We'll talk about in a little bit. But you can see there are tracks kind of going everywhere. But the one that services the distribution facility starts here and then comes down. You can see there's kind of a slope. So you can actually cut cars at the top of the hill and they roll and kind of stop at the perfect distance. Not like, I mean, they wouldn't really do that in real life. But it's kind of nice to have the slope, because you'll see that a lot. Obviously it's not sloped here because you don't want the car rolling away if you're trying to load it. But there's a little hill here to get it down from kind of high maintenance of way track to this lower level. So I think that's about it. You can see the track here. Looks nice. It's really weedy. And then the actual facility itself has doors on the back, and then doors on the front where the trucks can load, and then a platform on the side. So I'll just give you a quick look around so you can just kind of observe it. See the trucks there, ramp, kind of the hood there to protect the trucks. You can see the doors under there, and then the platform there to serve the track, which is right over here. So the next part of this kind of park area is the little construction area over here, where they're just pulling up some dirt and they have some pipe loads, like they're going to put in a sewage line or something, whatever it'll be, and then a little pods container. And all this is accessed by this road here, which I mentioned earlier. And I'll talk about the main road and how we did that when we get to the town section. But here we have the cement facility. This is one of the larger facilities or industries in this little park over here. And you can see it can load cars under the shed there, but it also can be serviced by trucks. So you can see the two doors on the end of there, and those are kind of out of service as of now. As you can see, there's a little bit of construction going on there, but over here these are fully functional, and you can see the big gravel lot we have here for trucks. So usually there'll be semis with grain-like trailers. So those will be kind of like grain trailers, I think, for whatever materials they need for this cement plant, whatever they'll be loading into the covered hoppers. So this little lot here serves the purpose for larger semis that are either pulling in here, can kind of do, they can have a larger turning circle, or if they're pulling in here, they keep coming, pull here, and then back up, and then load into the two doors there, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. I also have a few telephone poles right there. And the next part really is the gravel company, which we'll get to right now. So the gravel company is the largest industry on the layout, actually the largest building overall. And it's pretty cool because it has a fairly long yard for a single industry. It has 3 tracks, 2 that go under the building right there. That can be those are cars that can be loaded under there, and under the loader right there, as you can see. And also those two little holes there are actually for chutes that should be coming out of the side. I just need to replace those, and they can load cars from the side there, so you can load from any point. And then in addition to that, we added this recently. We have this giant gravel lot here that has a wheel loader in it that can go around and then pick up gravel or whatever, rock, whatever has been dumped from the dump trucks that come over here, and then they dump it into the cars directly to make the loading process more efficient. So looking at the building, it's just a general, I don't remember what it's called, it's the gravel company from Walthers, but we did a few upgrades to it, one being this little walkway which we built. It kind of enhances it, makes it look a little better, and the offset color makes it look nice. Also added lighting, so there's one light in here, it's not turned on right now, one light in here, and then one in each bay under here. Moving along, one of the coolest features of this industry is this giant hill here, which has actually been cut out by the company, as you can see, and then you have a little ramp, I guess you can call it, coming off there. So if you're driving on the road and you're a truck and you have gravel, you're gonna service this company. So if you're coming, you're gonna turn in right there at the crossing, and then drive up the ramp, probably come up here, and then you will dump your load into the grate right there. So I think that's pretty cool. It makes sense. That way they didn't have to blow out this whole hill. The hill is already here, so why not just drill into it, and then you can dump your load here, and it gets pulled up by the conveyor belt, and then you can dump it into the cars. We also have this little platform here that you can have, so you can have employees go up there, check things out, and then come back down onto ground level. The parking, or the gravel over here, is more for parking or for personnel to come over, check things out. And then there's also parking over here for this building. You can see there's a little dirt there, and then the asphalt dirt lot thing. So it's just kind of like that chunky old asphalt. So not good quality, as you can see, it's cracked right there. But we kind of wanted it to look that way. And then this building is just an old Pike Stuff building that we got, and just kind of like for maintaining the facility. You have like the executive people in there, whoever works there. So I think that's it for this facility. So we will now move on to the town area. Then we will look at the operations. So the town was one of the more interesting parts of the layout, which is funny because there aren't that many parts of the layout, but this one probably draws the most attention just because of the number of buildings and the fact that you see this in everyday travels or whatever. You'll see towns like this. So once we get the details, it'll be really cool. We'll have trash cans and mailboxes and benches along the sidewalk, along with fire hydrants, and then we'll have manhole covers in the street. You can see we have a bunch of buildings here. Picked these all up at train shows just because they were good deals. So we have a bank on the corner there, and then 3 buildings along here. Building on this corner, which is kind of the odd one because it's on this curved road, so it's in an odd position. And then also the biggest town building over here. So you can see the road itself is constructed out of styrene sheets that we kind of cut long ways in half. And then we supported them on a variety of materials in this area. For here we had it's kind of this like clear, it's like this white chunky foam material that came in sheets that we laid down, so that's what that's on. So the whole town's on that, and then it changes once we get over here after this crossing. Then it's actually supported by foam roadbed from Woodland Scenics on either side, and that's why there's this little shoulder here of gravel to kind of hide the support there. Plus, we needed a gravel shoulder there. So under here, it's actually supported by the foam roadbed, as I said. So the center is actually hollow. You can kind of see that flex if I can zoom in here. So that's kind of cool. The whole road's actually hollow. Just a cool little fact. And I think that's it. You can kind of get a little look around of the town area. We have a big asphalt area behind these buildings, and also for the parking of this building. So you can see someone had a little accident in front of the building. But the parking will be here. We'll have markings there for parking, and we're also going to weather it to make it less shiny and clean. Same with the road. We'll get it looking really nice, as I said, with details and stuff. So there'll be parking back here, parking on this side of the street. As you can see, that is being demonstrated by the BMW there, and then parking right there for that building. And then we also have 2 crossings going into the town. One here that is guarded by gates and lights, obviously, that is not functional yet. I need to get the controls for that, so that'll be coming soon, hopefully. And then also we'll have 2 crossing gates over there. So that's it for the town. I think you can kind of glance over it, see it there. And the next section is this little area up here, and that should wrap it up. This is kind of a raised area that actually really doesn't serve any purpose right now except for looking cool. We have a brick wall there, and the track actually goes nowhere. But the brick wall is a nice touch, as I needed to cut out or fill in the hill kind of, because you can see the hill starts over there, and then if you imagine it, it would continue to curve kind of like past the track and then come back this way and meet here. But they needed to fill that in, so they put a brick wall, filled in some dirt, and then planted the track right on top of that. And then we have a building here for furniture, and then an appliance factory over here that is served by boxcar. So stepping back from the layout, we can kind of look at the operations and the track work. Started out as a more simple oval. You can see starting right here, this middle track here, if you follow that, goes down and then curves back there behind there, comes back where the train is, does a little U-shaped thing here, and then comes back around towards the river. And then originally we did have this reverse loop, which starts right here and then continues along and then meets back up around the river there. But we didn't have all these tracks in here, so all these tracks filled in here really serve a purpose for operations. It also makes it more interesting to the eye. There are a lot more tracks, but it's not too congested. So if you're doing the industrial switch job, you can have, let's say you have a car here, like to start an operating session, which I still need to set one up. Let's say you could have an empty car that you need to pick up from the incoming local that's coming down the ramp here. So we'll say the power cuts off at the bottom of the hill and then pulls off somewhere. So then you're the local switcher and you need to pull the cars around. So then what you can do is you take your empty bulkhead flat car, bring it over here, and then park it over here. And then the reverse order would kind of be that there's a train waiting and needs the loaded flat car, so you pick up the flat car. And then you can also park cars back there, and then the same thing here, you can have one or two box cars being loaded here. The reverse loop is also very helpful if you need to turn your train around to go wherever. So if you start out in kind of this direction going this way, which would also be this direction, you can come over here, reverse, and then once you get around the curve you'll be going back that way. So if you want to, you can go into the town that way. So those are just a few things. We also have the longest straight that cuts all the way across the table, so I'll zoom in here. Starts there. So if you switch off the oval, you go straight behind the cement facility and then down where the well cars are. You go all the way across the tables and then curve and come back around the town and then meet up here. So you can either go up the climb or go on the crossover and get to the other track. So those are just a few operational things. We also have the 3 tracks for the gravel company, which can hold around not 18 cars, but probably about 16 cars. And that's 16 50-foot cars. I bet if I had the 40-foot Ortner cars or the 2-bay Greenville aggregate cars, you could probably hold around 20. But using 50-foot 3-bay hoppers, it can hold about 16 cars. And that's a pretty big operation. Eventually I actually do want to make that operational, so you can actually have someone working the gravel company by actually loading cars under the loader. So I might rig that up at some point so you can actually fill up the building. As you can see, the roof actually comes off here. So maybe if you fill up the loader, rig up some weights and wires and stuff, then you can actually load cars with real gravel. And then the rest of it, you have a little Y section here that's actually just a diamond, but it looks like a Y more. You have this little triangle section here, and then you have the loop around the town, and that's about it for the track work. The newest track is all in here in this industrial park. And then regarding the extension, that should be coming at some point, but I still don't know what we're going to do. What I wanted to do was have double track up here that comes across, and then also cuts through the wall, have a giant intermodal facility behind that half wall, and then have the double track tie back in on that curve behind the gravel facility, and then knock out this hill, put industries over here, and then have the engine facility somewhere in here, and then have that double track main line come over here and then tie back in at kind of the peak over here. So we'll see what happens there, but hopefully we'll have an intermodal facility of some sort, depending on what happens. If not, we'll just have a bunch of new industries, but we will have an extension at some point, and I'll do videos of that, and then probably a tour when we know exactly what we're going to be doing. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry it was so long, but I wanted to go into detail about the different aspects of the layout. So hopefully that helps you understand more of what this layout is, gives you a kind of a bigger picture idea, so you can kind of see the layout in its whole and how it's operated. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. I will have new videos coming, as I mentioned. I'll have a cab ride video and then also some running videos So look for that.